All right, so I think we're good to go. Let's start. I'm going to start with my introduction. I'm Pooja Upganlawar and I'm a speech and drama trainer. I send my students for the exams conducted by the Trinity College of London. And I'm also the founder of The Story Tunes, which is an organization which works on teaching through stories and making learning fun. Learning is always fun if you make it so. And I am a budding writer. I'm going to talk about that also. So today's session is all about raising readers. Now, what exactly is raising readers? Raising readers mean raising a child who feels happy to read, not like you're pushing the child towards reading. We need to raise our child such that he loves to read. And why do you think is reading so important? Well, it is very important, and I can put that in like a phrase which has been written by Joseph Addison. He says that reading is to the mind as exercise is to the body. So, you all know the importance of exercise, isn't it? And reading is as important to your minds. See, what happens in reading is that the child is exposed to so many new things. Yes, he has new thoughts, he has new ideas, his creativity enhances. There is a plethora of feelings that he feels. He learns a lot when you read. And I'm going to talk about, what to read, when to read, how to read, and why exactly you should be reading to your children. But before that, I'm going to tell you that reading is so important that I can just put it in one phrase, and that one phrase is children are made readers in their parents' lap. Okay, so if you want to make your child a reader, you got to be a reader first. A child is like a clay, you just mold it in the way you want. Yes, so that's why if you read, if they see you reading, they will surely have the interest to pick up a book and read it. That is the key. Because you don't want to pressurize the child, read. You have so many books, read it. You don't do this, you're just wasting time, read. That's not the way you raise readers. You got to raise readers, happy readers. So they should enjoy. It's their time to imagine. It's their time to travel to magic lands. And if you don't make that magical for them, they would never want to read. Yes? So now let's just start, and I'm going to take up all the questions towards the end of the session. So I request all of you to keep posting questions as in how I progress with my session. You will all post your questions. I will surely attend to your questions as much as possible. If I cannot attend to those in the live session, I will do that after the session for sure. So stay tuned. I'm going to share a lot of tips and tricks to keep your child reading, to make him a reader, to make him an interesting reader. He should have interest in the book that he's reading. So let's start. Now, being a teacher, I come across so many questions, and the most important question that people ask is, my child doesn't read, मेरा बच्चा पढ़ता ही नहीं है, उसको books अच्छी नहीं लगती हैं. So let me tell you, it is never that my child doesn't like to read. It doesn't happen. Children love to read, provided you have chosen the right book for them. Every child is different. Do we think of schools for them? We do. Do we think of clothes for them? We do. Do we think of what we need to feed them? He likes this, he doesn't like this. We all know his tastes or her tastes, isn't it? In the same way, we got to find out what kind of books the child likes. And this thing actually child's right before the child is even born. Even before he is born. So once you know that you have conceived, the time is just started for you to start reading. You work on setting up child's room. You're going to buy toys, you buy them clothes, you set up a wardrobe, you make a room, you buy a crib, you do all of this. Along with that, always remember that the child's most important thing the child needs at that time is books too. Yes, so we have to remember that. It is never that a child will not read. Always remember this. The child will read provided you provide a good book. You choose a right book for the child. Once the child likes to read, he will read it forever. Now, like I was talking about pregnancy, we all know that around 16 weeks of pregnancy, the child has already developed ears. By 24 months and in the third trimester, the child can listen to their mother's voices very well. Of course, the voice is very muffled because the voice is passing through the amniotic fluid. The most of the sounds that the child is hearing is mostly, the heartbeat of the mother, the blood flowing through. That is what the child is used to. But okay, let me tell you, give you an example. We all know about these Garbha Sanskar classes. We've heard our grannies talk about, be happy during pregnancy, read nice books during pregnancy, read the Ramayana, read all good things while you're pregnant. Why do you think they do that? Because it has an impact on the growing child. The only thing that I would like to add is when you read it aloud. So the child gets used to your voice also. And it seems a bit weird in the beginning that, how will I talk to the child? It looks so different, touching your tummy and reading out to the child, laughing with the child and making expressions. But then gradually you'll get just used to it. It's very important that you start reading to the child right from the child when he's in the womb. That is one important thing. Now, what you read is up to you. Why? Because the child doesn't really interpret what you're saying. Probably is not even listening properly to the words that you're speaking. Yes, so you can read anything, but read it aloud. Now, why do we say that you need to read good books during pregnancy? Is because you have to feel good. When you feel good, your hormones work accordingly. And when your hormones work accordingly, the child's hormones also work accordingly. The child is happy when you are happy. The child is sad when you're sad. And so that's why everyone, all the grannies and everyone keep telling you, feel good when you're pregnant, think positive when you're pregnant and all. So that is one thing. Now, supposing you have not done that during your pregnancy, what to do? Well, it is never late. It's fine to just start reading now. And I'll tell you how. For every age group, there is a book. In the early months or early years, the child is really not understanding what you're speaking. Yes? Now, supposing the child is born and the first 3-4 months are just going haywire, you don't know what you have to do in life. So it's that different. They're all pregnant, the baby blues. But after that, once you start talking to the child has, started responding to you. The child has started smiling. So then make a routine. Start picking up books. Start sitting with the baby with the books. The child might just run away. That's fine. But read. Somewhere subconsciously, the child is trying to analyze that my mom or my father or anyone in the house is reading. So reading is like a part of their lives. Like wearing clothes is a part of their lives, playing with toys is a part of their lives, talking is a part of life, walking is a part of life. The same way, reading also becomes a part of their life. So it's nothing different for them. And slowly, the child will graduate towards reading himself also. Fine. Now let me tell you how exactly to read. First thing, make your reading time pleasurable. You don't have to pull your child and put him there and just start reading me. We have to read this book. It's not like that. You just keep reading. The child will automatically come. Now, when you choose books for the child, you must remember that the child reads the picture first and then the words. So that's why all these children books have, big, bright pictures, bright colors. That's the reason, because the picture is speaking to the child. And that's why even more than the words there, initially it is important that you pick up good picture books. Let me just give you an example. I have a book here, which is Dinosaur Roar. I hope you can see that. This is Dinosaur Roar. This book I have read to my son like 1,000,000 trillion times. I'll tell you why he likes it so much. Look at the pictures that they have. Alright. Look at this. It's like dinosaur roar, dinosaur squeak. So what all are you doing? The child, attends to the vocal modulations that you have while you're reading. Okay, so if you squeak, have you seen the children are always interested towards animals and bird sounds. That's the first thing that, they grasp. That's because they can relate. First, because they can see birds. They can see the dogs around. They can see the cows around. Yes, and that's why they can relate. That is one thing. And that's why animal books and animal stories work wonders. With this book, see, how do you read it? I'm going to tell you exactly how to read these kind of books. So you're like, dinosaur roar. So what did you do exactly? You showed that the sound of roar is roar. And it's fun to read with children. Try it out. Now, dinosaurs squeak. Like dinosaurs squeak. So what are you teaching them? So the child is learning what a dinosaur looks like. He's understanding what a roar and a squeak is. So you're raising his vocabulary. Yes. The other thing that you're doing here is to imagine. The child has started imagining. Okay. Now let's see the next picture. Dinosaur fast. So how can you do? Dinosaur fast. Dinosaur slow. So the child understands what is fast and what is slow. So this is one way that you can read a book. So these books have to be thoughtfully picked by you. Okay. You are never ever too old to pick up a book and read. Never ever so wacky that you can just pick up any book and read to your child. Pick up any book. Okay. When you want the child to start getting interested towards books, then you have to be like an marketing person in the house. You have to make it very attractive. The child should run towards those things. And how will you do that? What I tried with my child was, as my child was, he started reading. He's 7 now, and he's a voracious reader. And that's why I'm telling you, it's from my experience. What I did was exactly this. I made reading pleasurable for him. It was never ever that he thought reading a book is a pain. It's never pain. It's not a pain. It is pleasurable. It's fun. And you are the ones who are going to make it fun as parents. Okay. So what I did was, I built up a, nice tent, or I would just snuggle in the blanket, take a torch and start reading, make different sounds while reading. So all of this used to attract him. And then he would come and read. And he slowly graduated into a wonderful reader. So this is also my personal experience and not only something bookish that I'm sharing with you. Now, like you all remember, I was talking about in the womb, the child actually starts listening to you and learns the listening skills and reading skills right from the child in the womb. And why is that so? I'm sure all of you have heard about Abhimanyu. Yes. We all know that he entered the Chakravyuh but could not come out. We might be knowing the story behind it. I'll just brush it up. So Subhadra is the wife of Arjun. Okay. And Abhimanyu is their child. Now when Subhadra was pregnant with Abhimanyu, Arjun was talking to Subhadra about entering this Chakravyuh. Chakravyuh is like a big, it's like a chakra, a round circle which is created, which cannot be penetrated by any warrior. Now Arjuna had the skill of entering that Chakravyuh and coming out too. But he was talking to Subhadra about how to enter the Chakravyuh. He told Subhadra that this is the way you enter the Chakravyuh. And by that time, Subhadra fell asleep, and so did the child Abhimanyu. And then years later, when the Mahabharata started, then Abhimanyu could enter the Chakravyuh, but he could not come out. So that is the age-old story that we have, which shows that stories work and reading works or listening works right from when the child is in the womb. That is one proof that we have. And we have a lot of scientific researches going on, what you should read to the child, what music you should play for the child, and everything. This love for music and reading doesn't stay only in the womb. Once the child comes out, when he's ready, when he's talking, when he's smiling, then again all these things work. Children are so attracted towards music, isn't it? They love the jingles. In the same way, they love reading too. what you need to do is pick up the right books. Now for the early years, let me just show you one more book now that I'm talking about this. The child needs to feel all the five senses, okay? Specifically the tactile matlab touch. Alright, so these are these board books which don't spoil, they don't break very easily, they don't tear off very easily. So like these have these small little patches which the child can feel. So the child loves to do this with a dog or with a cat or whatever books are there. So they love to give it a scratch. Then there's like, this soft stuff here. Then we have this furry texture here. So they learn textures. They start falling in love with the books, and that's more important. Yes, there are other books which fascinate children. Okay, these are the kind of books that fascinate children. They'll read it. They'll ask you to read it for a zillion times. And how much ever time they ask you to read it, you must read it for them. Number of times. Just read the same story again and again. They just love it. And that's okay. Okay, so these are the kind of books they love. They will not read it, but they're reading through pictures. There are some other books which are like called pop-up books. So we'll just take a look at them. This opens like this. So it brings the picture to life. So these are and the market is like full of books, variety of books. You just need to visit some places and get those correct books for your children. Okay. Now, I want to talk about what kind of skills does the child learn when you start reading to the child. The first skill that they learn is speaking. The second, they love to listen. Third, later on, they like to read. They learn that skill. They also build up interpersonal skills. What are interpersonal skills? Are like they like to talk to you. It's a nice moment for the mothers and fathers also to sit with the baby, cuddle together, read a nice book. Yes, so that's nice thing. Interpersonal skills, social skills, the emotional quotient increases. The child learns so much when you read. Now, when I'm talking about reading a story, you pick up any story. But as one of my teachers told me, never give a moral to the story. Let the child choose the moral. So the child has learned something that probably you don't even know that he's learned. Yes? So like supposing the most common lion and the mouse story, or pick up the rabbit and the tortoise story. All these stories have something to give. But what we have learned from the story doesn't mean that the child has also learned the same thing from the story. Maybe the hare and the tortoise story is teaching the child to, help each other. The hare has fallen asleep. Let me wake him up. Let's run together. Let's win together. Maybe the child has thought that. So you need to raise a conversation also. You can always ask the child when he starts speaking, which was the character that you liked? Why do you think that you liked the story? What do you think the story is ending in a good way, or there could have been some other ending to this? So all these questions you can ask and make it interactive. Another thing is that it brings you physically close to each other. Now pick up any time of the day, whenever you're free, whichever time you're free, in the morning, afternoon, night, bedtime stories. If it appeals to you, great. Sit with a baby, pick up a book and read it out to him. Now, when you're not reading to them, it's time that all of you reinvent that, feeling of reading for yourself. Yes. So start reading yourself, and then when you start reading yourself, when the child sees you, that's what he learns. So that's why they say as parents, we don't, fight. The husband and wife should not fight in front of the little baby or the child. Why? Because the child is learning everything. You shout and they shout. That's the way it is. They're molded the way you want to mold them. Now, another thing that I want to share is, I've written it here and I don't want to miss that point. Yes. When the child starts understanding, has started understanding moving out of the house, has started going to the shops and all that, start taking them to bookstores. Why bookstores? Because it's so colorful. It's so nice. They know that books exist in this kind of a way. I mean, just let them go, pick up books, read some. They might ask you for a particular book. Please, if possible, buy it for them. And if you think that it's not the right book for them, fine. You've tackled so many tantrums from the children, you can tackle this too. Buy them some other book. I'll show you how you buy books. Okay. Now, these are kind of books that you buy for very small, very young readers. These are board books, so that even if they chew it, it's all right. They'll not spoil. Okay. They don't have a very big content. Yes, very small content, but they have very beautiful pictures. The rabbit jumping around. Yes, so it exposes them to the carrot. Now it exposes them to one human here who's taking care of the rabbit. So there are a lot of things that you can teach the child from one single book. You can teach them about what a burrow is. Yes, you can talk about jumping and hopping and everything. So the board books are the thing that you should pick up, and the ones that I showed you earlier, which have those soft furry things in them. Other books are, this is very important, that how to graduate your children that you are reading for them. You wean them off and let them read for themselves. That is the major thing. So they have to learn to read themselves. Never put a habit that you are going to read for the child forever. No, let the child learn to read themselves also. And I think around 2.5, 3.5 is a good age to start reading and pushing them to read themselves. Now, how do you do that? When I was teaching my son how to read, I found this. These are called Bob books, which are published by the Scholastic, very famous. Now these Bob books are very, very, very good, and I'll tell you why. Because this has worked for me, this has worked for my friends, a number of friends indeed. I've shared this Bob book with them, and all of them, 100% of them have gotten to reading. Yes, and they love to do that. I'll tell you why. These are very small books. Now see, what does it have? It has small little words. Sam and Matt. Teaching you, of course, the phonics, but that's not what we're looking for as of now. We are looking at this. So now when he starts reading Matt ran, can Sam, and all these words, when he finishes this thin little book, the kind of pride the child has is unbelievable. He feels that this book, I have finished it, I read this book. Even, of course, you might have helped him, but then these are my books. It's for him or her. The pride, the possession that he has or she has, it's very important. And these Bob books, it's a set of 12. There are many kinds of Bob books that you can just pick up, and they're all available on Amazon or wherever. Now, another kind of book that you should pick up and look for is the Julia Donaldson books. Lovely, lovely books by Julia Donaldson. And the illustrators are amazing. Now, let's see what this book has. It's going to expose the child to so many animals. It's exposing them to the word seal. It's talking about the cow. It's talking about the gazelle, the pony. The illustrations are very, very, very important, because that's what's speaking to the child before they start reading. Okay, so we pick up these good books. Now slowly the child is going to graduate even more, so you're going to make it a little difficult for the child to read. So you give them a variety of books. These are very simple, very pocket friendly books, Pepper books, and we have many more now. We have Bruno books and this and that. So these are very short stories, not a lot of content, but talking about the daily issues that the child is facing. Like mama, here the mama is going out for work, and the child is supposed to stay in a daycare. Now, how does this Pepper, manage to say bye-bye to his mama and likes to stay in the daycare? Yeah, so there are books on sharing, on kindness, to playing together, all kinds of books. So these are very pocket-friendly books, plus giving you a lot of life lessons. In the same way, There are some mythological books also, which are very beautiful. Let me show you one or two. There are a number of books that I have, but just look at this. Nice animations. So, these kind of books you have to pick up. And rather, this is the stage when we are picking up books for them. Okay. Slowly, they're going to come to you that I want this book. And if you think that the book is right, and most of the books are going to be right when they've been made for children, they've been thoughtfully structured, so there's nothing wrong with those books. It's up to you what kind of book you want to give to your child. And plus, I personally feel that just let the child pick up, let him have his power of choice. Who else is he going to have his choice with, isn't it? Okay. Now, supposing, now I have a few questions also here which I'm going to take up in a while. But there was one question that someone asked me. Then my child is around 3 and he hates books. He just hates books. If I tell my child to pick up a book, he just runs away. Okay. Now what do we do here? See, reading cannot be pushed onto the children. That is for sure. The more you push, the child is going to run away from it. Damn sure. You cannot push the child to reading. Now, how exactly are you going to bring him to reading? There are a lot of ways. How do you feed your child something that is nutritious, but the child doesn't want to do, want to eat it? For example, carrots. What do? You stuff it in the paratha, or you just decorate that carrot and give it to him. The same way. Find out ways to make that reading time pleasurable. Like I said, make a tent or make a small, a reading corner in your house. Yes, just you go there, you enjoy it yourself, just make sounds, and the child will surely come to you. Pick up the right books. Most important, go to a good bookstore. This lockdown is not giving us that kind of a time right now, but then afterwards, do go there, let the child pick up the book. The sense of having that book in his hand itself is going to drive him towards reading. Okay? The key is pleasurable reading. If you don't make it pleasurable, the child will never, ever read. Never. Actually never. And I mean to say that. Okay. Now we have a few more books like we're talking about reading. So let's see this book. Now, as the child grows around 4, 5 years of age, then we have these kind of books which are like, what are best friends? And it's introducing some more vocabulary which you don't have to teach them. Just make reading pleasurable, they will understand themselves. The books are structured in such a way that it's highlighting that word already. It's highlighting the word once. It's highlighting the word big. It's highlighting the word strong. The child will learn himself or herself. Now, when you say this, then you can of course say, he wanted to be as strong as Balu. Okay? So you show it in your body language. And the child will learn. You don't need to bombard them कि आज हमको 5 words to learn करने हैं. We have to read 1 page. We have to read 2 pages. Please, no, don't do that. The child will come to reading themselves. Like it takes you some time for some children to, get used to some kind of food. You want them to feed something correct. The same way you will have to work towards making your child read if that has not been done right from the time that the child was in existence, as in right in the womb. If that has not happened, then you will have to put in a little more effort, but I'm sure every child will love to read. I have a few questions here. I'm just going to just scroll through them. So just give me 1 minute. Okay, so my son is 4 years old. How will I encourage him for reading? This has come from Malabi Singh. All right. So how do I encourage? Exactly. There are 2 or 3 things that you need to do. First, start reading yourself. Explore your reading again. Start reading. Make a family reading club. Okay, I read this, you read this. Fine. If he's not reading, fine enough. Everyone in the family, start reading. The child will gradually understand that reading is fun. And while you read, you just have, just show happiness. That is one thing. Second thing, now your child is 4 now, so that means he has some preferences regarding maybe Spider-Man or Captain America or something. He would like something, maybe Mowgli, I don't know, whatever. Now, if he likes this kind of a superhero or if he's fascinated about countries, learning about countries or anything, just pick up something that he likes. You go to a bookstore, or now just find out something on Amazon and or Flipkart, wherever, any social, this e-commerce websites. Ask him to choose. What do you want? Do you want this? Fine. Now maybe the child is again reluctant. Now what do? You start reading what is there in the house. Now supposing you have a carton of cornflakes at home. Start reading on that. Start reading aloud. When you read aloud, the child understands that, okay, this is something that I'm supposed to read. Okay? If you're watching a movie, switch on the subtitles on and you read. So the child knows that, okay, I'm supposed to read, and reading is fun. Okay? These are 2 or 3 ways that I've given you. Now let's pick up the second question here, which is from Swarna Vinod. Hi ma'am, my 4-year-old kid. If I tell her the story, she is more interested to listen, but how to encourage them to reading? Exactly, that's what I shared with you. So when you have to have your child, that's what I call weaning off from you feeding the child to the feeding milk to they graduate to eating solid food. It's the same way. Now you're reading for them. Now they need to read for themselves. How do you think they're going to read? First thing, they have to understand the basic phonics, which slowly they will understand. Don't leave that job to the school. You can teach them too. So this Bob book works wonders. It actually works wonders. And it's like a package which has number of books in it, showing you different levels. And then once they read these Bob books, then pick up books which have lesser amount of words, more of pictures, good illustrations, because the illustrations are also telling what is not written. Okay, the pictures are speaking even more than what the writer actually wants to talk about. So pick up good illustrations, like I showed you these books. Supposing Hanuman, supposing he's like fascinated with mythology, loves Hanuman, pick up these kind of books. If he's still not a really voracious reader as of now, then pick up something that's easy for the child. Now let me show you something. When I wanted to teach my son, about the solar system and the Big Bang theory. Okay, how the sun was formed or whatever, how the planets formed. And I myself had to write a book because I could not find anything that appealed to me that could teach my son about the solar system. My son is a foodie right from the beginning. I've never had troubles feeding the child. So I knew that he likes food. I knew he likes to look at the stars. I knew he likes to know about sun and the planets and whatever. So this is the book that I have written. This is like a challenge, okay? This is the Boom Boom family, and there is a big trophy that this family wins. And see the illustrations here. These are being done by Ashwini Bhujbal, who is a friend of mine and a beautiful painter. I got it done from her. It turned out to be a book very late, but I had done this for my son. Okay, so here is the sun. It's a huge fireball, and it has a lot of gassy gases, and then he drank a smoky drink, and it grew big and it went boom, and that's how this family was born. And then all these illustrations are such that Mercury is the smallest of all, so it's been drawn painted like a very small baby with a rattle and one tooth there. And because it's the hottest, then I've mentioned it here that it was also the hottest. So the more I read about it, the child started understanding. I have also mentioned here which ring is it in, or which orbit, which number of the orbit he is in. So my child had learned about the solar system at 2.5. He had learned the country names at around 3 years of age. He could, you could point on the map and he could tell you that which country is it. He could identify the flags. That's because I just made it larger than life and fun, nothing else. There are no rocket science here. You just have to invest maybe around 15-20 minutes of yours to make that fun for your child. I'll just pick up another question here. This comes from Swati. My daughter is 3.5 years old. She only likes to listen to rhymes. She does not listen to stories. Kindly tell how can I create interest in her? Thank you. Okay. So now see, rhymes are something that teachers do. Now rhymes everyone likes. Who hasn't? I think we have never forgotten the rhyme Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Have we? Have we? No. What do we do if the child is interested only in songs? Let's start having a conversation with them. So if it's about Baba Black Sheep, let's talk about Baba Black Sheep. Buy her a book. Which is a Baba Black Sheep book. There are books on poems too. Okay. Supposing the child likes Peppa Pig. There are books on Peppa Pig too. Every episode has a book like this. It's like a school bus trip. So when they see something that is there on the screen, the rhymes, and they also exist in the form of books, it's a kind of, sense of comfort that they get. Okay, books also have such fun things. Okay, so slowly try and incorporate these kind of books. Don't push the child towards stories. Come here, let me tell you a story. That'll not work, because now the child knows that mama is pushing me to to read something or listen to a story. It doesn't happen like that. Just like, just take her. It's a girl, right? Yes, daughter. So take her out somewhere, maybe in the garden, in the balcony, wherever, and just start talking to her. And in your conversation, just incorporate one small story, even if it's a made up story by you, not necessarily from the book. Then slowly, just pick up a book. Oh my God, look at this. Well, we were talking about this the other day, isn't it? Let's see. Oh my God, this also has a Baba Black Sheep here. It has Old MacDonald. Look at this. She will surely find interest, and if she doesn't, just get back to me and I will help you more. Now there is Pinky. Hi ma'am, my daughter is 4.5. How should I encourage her to read? Well, exactly. While reading a word, she separately speaks the alphabet. Okay, it's not the alphabet, and alphabet is a whole series of A to Z. So A, B, C, D, E are letters of the alphabet. So if she's saying, like supposing this book, if she's saying S-A-M, so what you need to do here is, you have to actually start teaching them that the sound is These are the sounds. So when you teach the child the sounds and not the letter names, so S is the letter name and S is the sound. Okay, so A is the letter name, A is the sound, A for apple, A is the sound. So you have to teach her the sounds. Once the child understands the sounds, automatically the child will feel a pleasure of reading, because then he's read his first word, Sam. So that's how you're going to do that. You have to teach slowly phonics, and you can use these flashcards. Make some flashcards at home where you have a small caps A written, and behind that maybe an apple or something like that, or Sam or anything, and keep showing it to the child in a fun way. Play with the child with phonics, and that's how she'll start learning how to read the word. There is one Garima Grover who's written to me, मेरा बेटा 2.9 years का है, वो बहुत रुक के बोलता है. 3 years is very younger age. The child might be stammering. I would suggest that, just wait for a few months. The child will get into good talking. But if you feel that there is a problem which is persisting, you must surely get in touch with the pediatrician that you have. That's my personal take on this. I would not be able to help you here much. I would of course encourage you to, talk to the child more. Talk about anything that he likes. The child will keep talking, and the child will surely get into proper fluent talking very soon. There's a question from Krishna. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct. Hello ma'am, my daughter is nearing 3. She's unable to speak perfectly, only using the starting letter of the word. If egg is there, then she will spell only E. So I think that's the same thing. You just need to give some time to the child. Okay. So if she is not able to speak perfectly, just give it a little time. Of course, do check if there is some medical problem with the child. If it's not there, then give the child some time. The child will surely speak. There's one from Shruti Gupta. My son is 3.5 and not much of a reader. Also jumps around and keeps the books away. He gets attracted by big images and I read it to him, but his attention span is very low. Well, he is not a different person anyways. Every child just has the attention span for the child is just 5 to 10 minutes. So he's no different. And that's why when you read to the child, don't expect that he's going to sit with you through the story. And it's fine if the child is not sitting with you through the story. Let him roam around. You finish your story. Okay, somewhere subconsciously the child is listening to you. Do we actually teach the language to the child like that? Come, sit. Name ko bolte hain naam. We don't do that, isn't it? It just comes naturally. They learn the language. In the same way, they will learn to read. You just have to make it a habit every day. Just read to them, irrespective of whether the child is jumping over, not coming to you, not sitting around. That's all right. You pick up a time, and you actually don't even need to pick up a time. I would say any time during the day when you're with your son, your daughter, please start reading something and have fun. Now, another thing that you could do is make it more dramatic. Okay, make it like full-on drama, roar, or anything. Become a princess if it's a daughter or whatever, or if it's a son, wear a cape. Run around with the child across the house like a Spider-Man or something. Become a Barbie doll yourself and just make it interesting. So then you can then actually show that in the book also we have this. Would you like to see? If he is not liking to see, please don't pressurize. Automatically, after a while, you have to, put in an effort now. You start putting efforts, not an effort which like pulls down the child, come, sit and do it. Because the more you bombard the child is not going to be with you. Because it's a natural tendency, isn't it? Someone tells you something and you will not do it, ever. And children have big egos. Okay. Now, so interesting. I think I have answered most of the questions here. I want to teach her basics of academics. She and her elder sister understand English only if I translate. Okay, that's from MD Khan. Okay, I would like to answer this. Your mother tongue is something else and English is a foreign language. If you want to introduce your child to a new language, you got to speak in that language. 4 principles of learning a new language for anyone, be it an adult or be it a child, is what? Read, listen, speak and write. 4 principles for everyone. So you talk in English, okay? You listen to some English things, all right? And you read something in English. This is what I can say. For the child to understand different language in academics, you're saying. So the child is in school. You've never spoken in English at home. How would we expect the child to learn English in just, maybe in pre-nursery, nursery or first standard or whatever? The child can't learn. It's a language. It's not science or something that, you introduce to the child, teach the concept and it's done. It's not like that. It's a language. It takes time. And we as parents can work even more than the school. The school, the classroom is attending to 20, 40, 50 children. And we have to nurture just that 1, 2, 3, 4 children that we have. Okay. So you start talking in English with the child will slowly get into talking in English. Okay. Okay, my child is 6 years old, but she is not able to read complete sentences and phonics to write the spellings of words. This is a question from Swati. Thank you, Swati, for this question. And the answer is simple. We have to teach the child phonics in a fun-learn way. And once the child gains confidence in the phonics, the child will start reading the sentences. The phonics are not clear, the child can't read. Yes? So you have to clear the phonics. This is an interesting question from Sucheta Sachdeva. Shirley, how can I work on a kid at as early, like around 26 months? That's what I talked about earlier. 26 months is barely 2 years. Now what? The child is running around. Yes, it's become a pain to take care of the child. And this is also the right time because the child has started understanding, come here, sit down, let's read, let's eat, let's drink. The child has understood his needs or her needs of drinking water, eating food, eating themselves, and whatever. They're in a learning stage. This is a very nice time to introduce your child to reading. Now they also have their own choices. Okay, so let the child pick up something from the bookshelf. I love to keep books in every room. Every room of mine has some or the other books because it should be accessible to the child. If you keep books somewhere up there and the child can't touch it, the child can never have interest in that. It's all right if the book is being torn. It's all right if the book is being eaten up. Okay, but you have to keep the books accessible. And because the child is just 26 months old, it's a golden time for you to actually have the child an exposure, give the child an exposure to a lot of books, accessible books. Don't worry about them getting spoiled. Don't worry about the child reading. Just tell the story to the child. Let the child, pick up the book, scroll through the book, move the pages. Let them do something with the book. It's also developing their motor skills. So always give the book in the child's hand. And it's a very nice thing to do as of now. Pick up all these board book kind of things. The tactile experience kind of book that I showed you. So those kind of books, give it to the child will surely learn. And at this time, start analyzing that, they surely like birds and animals. So if you show them some books which have birds and animals, they will like it even more. And make some sounds around and run around and hop like a frog, jump like a kangaroo, and all of this is going to work. You'll also have fun. Okay. I have a question from Neha Oberoi. For a 1.5-year-old, what kind of books should I pick? What time is the best time to read out to them? There is no best time to read for the child. All the times that you read for the child is the best time. You have to create your best time. You have to figure out when the child is ready to listen to you. Of course, the child is very tiny, just 1.5-year-old. So the child is going to run around, not be with you all the time. But you just keep talking with the child, with the book in your hand. And the child will gradually understand that I need to read from this book. Now, how to pick up a book? Like I said, illustrations, the drawings, the paintings in the book speak larger than the content of the book. So picking up a good illustrator is the key. There are a number of books by Indian authors. We have international authors who are doing a wonderful job in the writing industry right now. We have Pratham Books from India, Tulika Books. We have these own publishers. We have a lot of publishers. Just get inside. Just look for 1.5-year-old books on one of these e-commerce sites, and you're going to find the right book for the child. Right book, good illustrations, big illustrations, larger than life pictures. Okay, that's what you need to find out. And if you can't figure it out, show it to the child. The child will touch and show you in a few days from now. Okay, let me check another question here. Is it necessary to teach phonics first? Yes, it is. Because more than the letter names the child associates, if you want to teach the child to read, then phonics is very important. Because if you just teach the child those, what you call sight words, like in school, of course, there's a combination of sight words and phonics. But at home, more than sight words are like at, A-T, T-H-E, B-U-T. So the child doesn't know what is B-T, but B-U-T as a figure, they start picking up that this word is but. Okay, T-H-E, they don't understand. They just pick up T-H-E as a whole figure kind, it's like picture reading. So that is a sight word. Phonics is important because if the child just gets into that A, B, C, D mode, then the child can't read any other word that you give them. So phonics is important. You have to teach them phonics. Okay. Avantika Garg, my child is 3 years old and he is not giving interest or showing interest in learning basic studies. It's fine. Which child is loved to study? Have you ever loved to study? Okay, and I'll tell you why none of us have liked to study is because studies were never made interesting. Do you remember all of us have that one favorite teacher in school? Now, if you analyze that one favorite teacher of yours has always made the class interesting, and that's why you would never ever try to, not pay attention to the teacher. The teacher has like amplified emotions and showed you like larger than life picture on her face. Yes, and that's why that teacher has turned out to be the favorite teacher. And that's why here, learning basic studies, please don't concentrate on that. Study is what? Learning about everything. That is what is study. But we have made it so difficult for the child doesn't want to study now. Because we're always like, padhai kar lo, kuch to pad le, kuch bhi nahi padta hai. Let's not bother about all these things. And he's just 3 years old. I would say even when the child goes to 7th and 8th, don't bother much. 5th at least, don't bother much. Because the child will automatically pick up his interests. Make reading a habit. Once the child knows how to read, even if it's an academic thing, if it's maths, if it's English, Hindi, whatever, the child will start reading and he will gain some interest. You tell them to sit and write 100 times, they will not do it. Okay? Even if you're teaching them how to write. My child is quite messy with writing. But then I have to find out, even I lose my patience sometimes. I just find out ways, to make him write. Wow, what beautiful handwriting. I think I should practice with you. My handwriting isn't that great. Let both of us write together. So we do that. You have to make it pleasurable for the child. We have no escape there as mothers and parents. So now I have quite some questions to be answered here. Okay. How to teach phonics, sounds and reading. Okay. This question has come from Aishvi Khanuja. And how to teach phonics? You can use a variety of things. There are a lot of blocks, toys available if you want to teach them phonics through toys. Or else you can just make simple placards. Placards like small cards that you make with paper, a little cardboard thick so that you can use it. Just write small caps A, small caps B, the alphabet. You write the alphabet on these placards and towards the back of it, write the, just have the picture of that thing that starts with A. Like supposing apple. So one part of it has A and the second has the apple actually. Okay. So like that, B, bat, B, ball. Like that. You just make these placards, have fun. Slowly they'll start recognizing what these words are, these letters are, and they'll learn to read very easily. Okay. Oh, this is nice. My daughter loves to listen to stories in a day. I have to tell 10 to 12 stories in a day. How could I enhance this? This is so nice, Tripti Kothari. You have a child who listens to stories. Isn't that wonderful? And yes, we all get tired. And now now I don't know how old your daughter is, but you just keep reading to your child, and if the child has grown up to maybe around 2.5 or 2, start introducing these kind of Bob books or something like that to help the child read herself or himself. You have to start introducing books for them to read than you to read to them, because you know what, I had a friend of mine who would read to her child all the time and she kept reading, but now what has happened is she's never taught the child how to read. She just kept reading stories. So now that child is giving a hard time to actually learn to read himself. So from the initial stage, just try to give those books, small books, show them a sense of pride that you finished this book. Wow, wonderful. And the children will love to do it. And it's so nice that you have a child who listens to 10 to 12 stories a day. You're lucky. Now we have Prabha Ramchandran. At what time you have to tell the story? Okay, so there's no particular time for telling the story. I have never personally, I've never believed in this bedtime story concept, because I feel that a story wants to tell something to the child and it's an enjoyable reading. So I prefer daytime when the child is with me. So he's understanding the story. I can talk about the story with the child. I have a few more questions, but I'll not be able to take them. I will revert to you on the messages. Okay, there's one question who I would like to take up. Okay, there's one question I must take because it's related to what I want to discuss. Agisha Harma, books for 20 months old, she's asked me. That I've already explained to someone else. How to encourage the baby to speak more. Now, I'm just going to give you a few conversation pointers. Okay, these are called conversation pointers. How do you trigger a conversation between you and the child? And I think this is going to really help you. Can you find the author's name on the book? Well, this is for a little older children, of course, 2.5. Now, I'll tell you why it's important to mention the author. Always, always mention the author. I don't know where the other books have gone, but I'm just picking up my book right now. So this is the title of the book. You must mention the title of the book. The Boom Boom Family. The writer is here, Pooja. The illustrator, of course, who needs to be given more importance is Ashwini Bhujbal. So then they understand who's drawing for them. Such beautiful drawings they've drawn. Who's that? Okay. Then you talk about the story. So you can always pick up where is the author's name. The child is going to point out there. Okay. And what's the name of the book? The child will start doing that. Do it every day. And the child needs repetition, of course. The child might ask you to read that one book 100 times. Do it. Okay. Now, second pointer is like, how do you find the illustrations in the book? How are the drawings in the book? What all can you see in the book? I will show this. There's another book here, Toad's Road Code, a very, very famous book. And see what my child, my second baby is just 1.5 right now, but she understands the cake. She doesn't know what's a cake, but she says, this is happy to you, happy to you. So she knows that the cake is meant for some birthdays. She knows what's a frog. She can't say the word frog as yet nicely, but she knows that it hops. She knows the words flowers. She knows what's a road. So when you're reading the story, you might probably just be talking about this little frog with a cake in the hand. But for the child is seeing everything. Once they might just, she loves to read this book. So she might notice the sky one day. The other day she notices the cloud there. The other day she notices red flowers and yellow flowers. Then she notices this wheel and she goes, wheels on the bus go round and round and all that. So, when you have to talk about, just start talking about that book to your child and the child will start getting interest. Because like someone earlier said, my child is always glued to rhymes. Put these rhymes over here and see how the child reads. As soon as she sees this, she goes, wheels on the bus go round and round and all that. Okay, so just decide how do you pick up these pointers. You can talk about the likings of which book did you like, why did you like it, do you think the ending is nice, is it good or not, how does the horse do, how does the cow do, everything of this kind. Just raise a conversation with the child and the child is surely going to love to read. Okay, I have another 1 or 2 minutes, so I'm just going to try and answer one. Okay, this is from Sri Shakti Karthik Mandadi. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I'm sorry if I have not done that. But she's asking me, can you suggest some books for my 3.5 years daughter? Okay. So I'm going to suggest you, first of all, if the child is not reading as of now, introduce the Bob books. That is I'm not promoting anyone here. But this is my personal experience that this works wonderful. Okay. Your Bob books. You can just find out anywhere. The second is these kind of books which are board books. These I'm sure the child can't read. Let's look at something else which the child can read, and those are Pepper books, the Pepper and Bruno books that I was talking about. Plus they can read these kind of books. See, these are Read It Yourself with Ladybird, and there are many such books, okay, many such publishers in the market who have leveled reading. So they have level 1, they have level 2, level 3. So as and how you progress, you can pick up the levels accordingly. So there are level 1 books which have very small words. The level 2 have a little complex words. Then we have number 3. Yes. So as the level goes higher, the child learns to, talk about, speak out other words also as they start reading. When the child grows up, there was someone who asked me about an 8-year-old also. So for the 8-year-old, I have these kind of books. These are the books from my child's shelf. So he reads Secret 7, he reads Thea Stilton, he loves Roald Dahl, there's Carolyn Keene, there's Enid Blyton. He's in love with mythology, so he has all these kind of books with him, these kind of books. So this is something that the 8-year-old can read who had asked me earlier. Now, a 8-year-old, it depends on how the child has grown up to be a reader. The 7-year-old, rather, my child is just 7.5, and he's already done with the Harry Potter series, which is quite a tough series by J.K. Rowling for a 7-year-old child. But there are quite a lot of children who at the age of 7 read Harry Potters too. Yes, so it is all about how you're going to manage right from the beginning. It's better late than never. So if you have not read for your child, if your child is not reading, you have to just encourage slowly. The key is to have fun. If I have to, bring together all the pointers of today's session, is that first and the most important thing is reading should be a pleasure. It's not a chore to do. It's not a work that the child is supposed to do. Yes, if you want your child to be a thinker, you have to read to the child and you have to make him a reader. A child who reads becomes a thinker in future. And the best time to read to the child or introduce reading to the child is as early the better. It's always better to introduce something in the early years. When you teach something, to undo that is more of a problem. Even for a simple word, if you teach a word, the child picks up easily. But if you don't want the child to learn that word, it becomes more difficult to withdraw it. In the same way, if you introduce reading to the child in the early years, it's always better. Okay? The second thing is that pick up the right books. Let the child choose. You read yourself. Advertise books. Make fun places for them to sit and read. Make their own shelf. Make their own place on the bedside. It's all right if you don't have shelves or anything. See, nothing is going to stop you from bringing reading to the child. Find out your own ways. But just make it interesting for the child. That is the key. Alright? So I think I can log off for the day. I have probably attended to almost all the questions that I had. I might have missed one or two, but I'm sure I have been able to manage almost all the questions. It was a pleasure being here on First Cry platform. You can get in touch with me on the Story Tunes too. My Facebook page is there, the Story Tunes. You can always write to me over there. I will surely respond to all your queries. It was a pleasure being here. Thank you so much, First Cry, and all the ones who stayed with me through the session. I'm sure somewhere it has benefited you. Thank you so much.